Have you ever felt invisible in your own financial life? Like your paycheck disappears before it even arrives, and wealth is a language spoken by people who were simply born into a better sentence? You are not lazy. You are not foolish. You are only waiting for a promotion, a bonus, a lucky break, while the months quietly slip past unused. In Japan, there is an old, gentle philosophy that ordinary workers have used for generations to build real wealth, without ever needing an extraordinary salary. Today, I want to tell you the story of a woman who proved this, one small day at a time. Her name was Michiko. She worked behind the counter of a small train station bakery in Nagoya for 32 years, folding paper bags, counting coins, wiping down the same glass case every evening before closing. Her salary never once made anyone's eyes widen. Her apartment was small, her furniture old but cared for. And yet, when she finally retired, she had raised 2 children without debt, owned her home outright, and left behind a small fund that quietly supported her grandchildren's education. No one who watched her fold those paper bags would have guessed. But Michiko understood something most people miss entirely. She once told her daughter, "I never earned a fortune. I only refuse to waste a coin." This is the heart of Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous, almost invisible improvement. Not sudden leaps. Not dramatic risks. Just small, steady steps, repeated without stopping. Imagine a single drop of water falling onto stone. One drop does nothing. You could watch it fall 100 times and see no change at all. But return years later, and you will find the stone hollowed, reshaped, transformed, not by force, but by patience. Wealth works the same way. It is never one large payment that builds a life. It is the quiet accumulation of small decisions that others were too impatient to make. Michiko was not richer than her neighbors in income. She was richer in repetition. Here is why this way of thinking works, and why so many people struggle without ever understanding the real reason. Most of us are taught to think in terms of size. We believe wealth requires a big salary, a big investment, a big opportunity. So we wait for size to arrive before we begin. But size rarely arrives first. It arrives last, as the result of many small things done consistently before anyone was watching. The psychology here is simple, but easy to overlook. A big change feels frightening, so the mind delays it. But a 1% improvement feels almost too small to resist, so we actually do it. And here is what most people miss. Because we actually do it, day after day, it compounds quietly in the background of our lives, until one ordinary morning we realize the stone has changed shape entirely. This is also where most people go wrong. They see someone like Michiko living comfortably and assume she must have had some hidden advantage, a lucky investment, a wealthy relative, a secret. They search for a shortcut, and when they cannot find one, they give up, believing slow progress is not worth beginning. But slow, repeated without stopping, is not the weak path. It is the only path that survives decades. So how can you apply the same quiet philosophy to your own life, even with your own modest salary? Michiko passed down 3 small rules to her children, and I want to share them with you now. The first rule is pay yourself the first coin. Before any bill, before any spending, set aside a small percentage of every payment you receive, even a tiny amount, the moment it arrives. Do not wait to see what is left over. There is rarely anything left over. Make saving the first action, not the last. The second rule is improve one small thing each week. Choose one task, one skill, one habit connected to your work, and refine it slightly every week. Not dramatically, just 1% better than the week before. Over a year, these small refinements quietly separate you from everyone still waiting for a big leap that never comes. The third rule is end each day with one honest question. Each evening, ask yourself gently, What is one small thing today I could have handled slightly wiser with my money or my time? Do not criticize yourself. Simply notice and adjust tomorrow by 1%. This quiet daily habit reshapes your relationship with money more deeply than any sudden resolution ever could. Notice something important in all three of these rules. None of them require you to already have wealth. They require only willingness, repeated without stopping. This is precisely why Kaizen works even on a low salary, while impatience quietly fails even a high one. Years later, when someone asked Michiko why she never envied those who earned more, she simply smiled and said, "The stone was never in a hurry, and still the water won." Those who spend their lives waiting for a bigger paycheck often remain exactly where they started, watching quieter people move steadily past them. One small coin, one small habit, one small correction at a time, until those small things become an entire life rebuilt. But those who begin today, without needing anyone to notice, slowly become the Michikos of tomorrow. You do not need a larger salary to start. You do not need luck, timing, or permission. You need only one small step, taken today and again tomorrow, without stopping. So if this story touched something quiet inside you, begin now. Choose your one coin, your one small improvement, your one honest question. And if you want more calm wisdom like this, the kind that builds a real, lasting life, stay with us. Subscribe to Will and Wisdom, share your thoughts in the comments, and I will meet you again in the next story, where another small truth is waiting to be uncovered.